Hi, I'm Alex McCord, and welcome to The Real Deal on TheStir.com. Today we have tired children, cast members throwing Hail Mary passes, and backstabbing at Cavalli. Yes, it was an evening full of Bravo, with Season 9, Episode 12 of The Real Housewives of Orange County, followed by Season 1, Episode 6 of The Ladies of London. Starting in Orange County, did you notice that the blondes had 90% of the story last night? Vicky, Shannon, and Tamra all had plot-driving, conflict-laden meat to chew on last night, while Heather and newbie Lizzie Rovsek were stuck in an evergreen forest of scenes that could have been shot at any time all season. Well, actually, that's not fair to Heather and Terry. It's clear to me that their entire family is exhausted, not just the children, and I think it's got everything to do with timing. I did have a feeling of dread watching Heather arrive with their 4 children to meet Terry at a restaurant, and I watched that scene with one hand ready to cover my eyes. Young kids at restaurant tables on The Housewives are usually a recipe for disaster, where anything can happen, and sure enough, we saw one kid go under the table and another one sleepily rubbing her eyes. Clearly, the kids are tired, which made me wonder what time of the day it was. But it could have been so much worse, and I speak from experience. Neither adult was pulled away from the table. There were no other cast members to distract them, and they did address the one that went under the table. And finally, a nanny showed up to whisk everyone away. I'm hoping that as the Housewives franchise continues, cast members get smarter about filming with young children outside the home. And the kids probably were exhausted. See, they're on the downstretch of filming for Orange County, and I'm guessing at this point in the season, Terry had probably also started filming his new reality show, Botched, and as a result, the family's hardly seeing one another. By episode 12, you are often filming at a breakneck pace. Get this scene, get that scene before we lose the crew, tie up this storyline, get rid of that one. And in this case, you've got regular work and family plus 2 reality shows, one in Orange County and one in Los Angeles. I can only imagine how painful the Dubrow household must be right now. So why would they get puppies? Okay, actually, it's a cute scene. Kids and puppies are always great. Plus, it gives the kids something to focus on to get them through to the end of all this nonsense. Overall, even with evergreen scenes, Heather is a lot more interesting than Lizzie, whom I predict will not see a second season. The other big storyline this episode on Orange County centers around Shannon and David Beador, our will they or won't they get divorced bickering couple. And it seems to me that Shannon and David are getting huge validation, not only from the cast members, but from the producers. Everyone is talking either to them or about them. Vicky got involved, and as she is the only original housewife and probably the most difficult to manage to get to go along with things, the fact that she brought them to her condo in Mexico and is making a huge effort to work on them and with them, that says a lot. Also for Vicky, it's a chance to bring Brooks out of hiding, away from all the ladies who hate him. Brooks opens up, and for the first time all season, we see that he's a nice guy. Shannon and David end the Mexico trip with a perfect setup for a second season of the show. Now, this is not the last episode. We're not at the finale yet, but we can see people thinking ahead to next season. See, if Shannon and David had tied up their issues in a neat little bow, there would be no place for their story to go. But the way they're playing this with unfinished business and unresolved conflict, that's either them being really smart or the producers making sure that they are added to a next season. Now, reading between the lines, I noticed 2 things that are great for TV besides their obvious bickering. Now, David does not drink too much in real life, I don't think, but he does do his drinking on camera. And this is a brilliant way for producers to get story. So one spouse happily drinks as they normally would in real life, forgetting that with cameras around, there's a heightened sense of drama, heightened reality, plus helpful assistance bringing you more, and you can be distracted and not realize how many you've had. That winds up in great TV being captured, such as back at the Dubrow Rodeo when David got sloppy and started shouting at all the ladies riding the mechanical bull. Also, Shannon has a listening problem. Have you noticed? David or one of the housewives will say something to her at, say, a level 3 of annoyance, and Shannon hears it as a level 6 or 7 and gets thrown into a tizzy. That is great television. That makes her a perfect addition to the cast. I predict she'll be back. The only other cast member who might be worried right now is Tamra. Not because she doesn't bring storyline, she most definitely does, but you don't want to get to the end game of the season with everybody hating you. It's not gotten to the point where people won't film with her in future seasons, but if they won't confide in her and tell her all their secrets, that's just as bad as refusing to film. With only a few episodes left in the regular season, Tamara has a chance for redemption, but it's all up to the editors at this point, plus her own behavior on the reunion. Now, with Orange County down, let's head over to London, where it is episode 6 of The Ladies of London. Now, as far as I'm aware, the ladies only have 2 more regular season episodes after last night, and there's no word on a reunion yet. Although, last week their numbers did go up, possibly due to increased publicity for the show. I have to say that I stand by my first impression. This series has all the elements everyone tells me they miss about the New York Housewives. Glamorous events, big country estates, and even shopping at Roberto Cavalli, which we all know is a must. I think the problem is that American viewers don't like seeing snobby Brits make fun of our own. If the roles were reversed and all the Yanks were poking fun at the British ladies, well, it would never sell internationally, but the viewership would be higher here in the States. But in any case, let's get to the drama of last night's episode. The first thing that stuck out to me were 2 late-season story grabs, the first and most obvious being Marissa Hermer. Marissa has been pretty quiet all season, and she comes across as normal and not psycho. That's brilliant for real life, and frankly also for surviving the side effects of reality television like the loss of privacy and character assassination, but it's not so good for keeping your job. Marissa has one major thing going for her if the ladies get a second season, and that is her access to locations. Her husband Matt founded a business that owns a lot of the restaurants, bars, and clubs we've been seeing all season. Lose Marissa, lose access to all those locations. But locations alone will not keep her in the cast. She's got to bring it. I'm guessing a producer had a quiet conversation with her about amping up her drama, because at breakfast, Marissa burst into tears and stormed out, dropping a Hail Mary pass of a story bomb that was about as subtle as me delivering a message from Bethany to Jill. Although, now that I think about it, I dropped that bomb with no outside help or warning, so it is possible that Marissa realized she was being sidelined and decided to ratchet up the drama all on her own. There's a behavior pattern that you can get into after you've been in front of reality cameras for a while, and I call it, what happens if? What happens if I drop a glass? What happens if I storm out or say something insane? And the answer, 9 times out of 10, is that all the cameras in the room swoop into your face and chase you down the hallway, followed by helpful cast members who are going where the fish are. So, Marissa stormed out as a result of Juliet once again running her mouth, which was a great opportunity for the other cast members to soothe her and show loyalty. Juliet, on the other hand, reacted as though she were driving and somebody tried to take the steering wheel from her. I could almost see her wheels clicking, as though she thought, I'll see you your tantrum and raise you one. It really seemed as though Juliet were fighting to get control of the scene back. No, I'm the drama queen, not her! As Juliet relived that moment later in her confessional interviews, you could see on her face that she was so pleased with the way things turned out. She was the cat that ate the cream. It's great from a bring the drama standpoint and keeping her job if the series is renewed. Juliet just needs to be careful that she doesn't alienate her cast members as a scene hog. The other late season story introduction is the baby shower drama with Caprice, Caroline, and Noelle. And I noticed Noelle eating what looked like a bowl full of producer-suggested nonsense in her confessional interviews. In real life, Noelle did a great thing by hosting a charity event. But let's get to those confessionals. I wonder whether she is cringing watching herself this episode in the chair. We heard Noelle say that she's throwing the event to create a positive press persona. Now, I'm sure she would also have said it's for a good cause, but that got left out. And further, she wouldn't want to be on the wrong side of Caroline because she's part of an elite social set. I found myself wondering whether Noelle actually said all that strung together or whether it was a victim of frankenbiting. Okay, imagine you're Noelle sitting in the chair. The producer says something like, let's talk Caroline. She's a socialite, isn't she? I mean, isn't she part of the set? I mean, she dated a royal, she works with celebrities. Isn't it fair to say she's part of the elite social set? Right, yeah? Okay, can I just get you to say that in a sentence? A complete sentence? Great. And you wouldn't want to cross her, would you? I mean, Caroline could create trouble for you if she decided to go after you, right? Yes, of course. No, don't just nod your head. Can you say that all together, please? Because in London, just like in New York, there are people who think status is everything, except those people only exist on reality TV sound stages. Overall, I hope the Ladies of London get a second season because it is highly entertaining to me, but their numbers do need to get better for that to happen. Well, let me know what you thought in the comments. For now, I am Alex McCord. You are watching The Real Deal on thestir.com. Don't forget to subscribe on YouTube, and I will see you tomorrow.